take advantage of the privilege and the rights that we have to resist and to change until we win. So I'd like to thank some of the other groups that have come out to support this today. Veterans for Peace, thank you Veterans for Peace.
Yeah.
Women's International League for Peace and Freedom.
Yeah.
Augustana Lutheran Church.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Also, Portland's Resistance. Thank you. Bernie PDX.
Yeah.
The Democratic Party of Multnomah County. And Unite Oregon. Thank you so much to all of you for coming. We have one more speaker, and then we're going to, I'm going to give you some instructions, and then we'll be moving. And I wanted to thank one more person who's not on the list, but many of you know and was really kind of the brainchild of this whole thing, and that's Dan Handelman from Iraq. Yeah, thank you, Dan. Thank you for your work. Our last speaker is Marco Mejia. Marco is with Portland Immigrant Rights Coalition and also with the Interfaith Immigrant Movement for Justice and a community activist. Thank you, Marco.
Thank you very much. How's everyone doing? I can't hear you. How are you doing? Great, because remember that we come to protest, to denounce war, but we come also to celebrate. Just the fact that we're here today, that's a celebration for us to be together fighting against the system, right? Okay, that's great. Good. Thank you. So we're talking about war. These wars here, war there, war everywhere. And that has been happening for so long, right? The oldest and the youngest here have many stories of wars. And that has happened for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. I just want you to remember that in this continent, in this land that we're sitting on, we have been resisting for 527 years. We have been resisting these wars from the Europeans that came here, and the same Europeans that went everywhere in the world where people of color live, to go, to colonize, to steal, to kill, to take over, and have a beautiful economic development, right? That has been happening for so long, but one thing is that we have been resisting, and we're still here today, and we're not going anywhere. And I'm talking also about an immigrant, because I am an immigrant. I mean, you know, if it was about 500 years ago, I could just go anywhere and nobody will call me an immigrant. Right? But now they are. So we all know these things, and I appreciate everyone, all the speakers that were before me, explaining and telling you a lot of very important things that we need to understand. I just want to add to that as you may know, migration happens for so many different reasons, right? There is migration of many of us that come here on Sunday, or many of you, or many of them that come on Sunday because they flew from somewhere and they have the money and the means and the privilege to do that. Migration, right? But there is another kind of migration that sometimes is not even called migration, and some people call it forced migration, right? That forced migration is the one that is ruling today's migration in general. And many of us and many of them don't even know about that, or if they know it, they actually take advantage of it. This system takes advantage of it. This crisis that we talk about migration has been created here in the United States for 500 years. If you remember, they went to hunt down people in Africa and they brought them here. I don't call it that migration, right? That's slavery. They took people, hunted down people and brought them here. That's not migration. Maybe forced migration, I don't know. But that has been historically what has been happening. I am here, you know, in front of you because that forced migration has happened. There's many reasons why we're here. Because the progress, the economic progress of this system. If you remember, many of you do, you know, there has been and there still is wars going on every day, everywhere. People have said already that today. In Central America and South America and throughout the world. That's one of the big reasons why we have been migrating to this country. Political persecution, etc. So it's been created here, but the system is so smart. As many things happen, you know, with sexism, with anything else, racism, xenophobia, etc. We blame the victim. We blame the victim. I mean, not me. The system blames the victim. We need to change the way we talk and say, oh, we went and invaded Iraq. You didn't do it. Somebody else did it. So don't embrace that when you talk to people, we did it. No, we didn't do it. The United States did it. As a country, as a power, as a military power and political power. We didn't do it. When we change that mindset, we're going to start building a different thing, a different thinking, and change things. Militarization, we are going to stop that. Not this government, not just the policies that we're trying to change. So we are going to be mobilizing, as it has been happening for hundreds of years, to stop things, to stop the wars, to stop all these colonial wars. So all of this has been trying to keep us weak, right? The victim is always hitting us to keep us weak. But they have not been able to do that because, as I mentioned, in this continent, we've been here for more than 500 years, fighting and resisting. And that's one another thing that I wanted to share here is that in these wars, let's not forget that the war on immigrants is the war on native people. The war on immigrants is the war on Iran, on Iraq, on Venezuela, on the Palestinian people. So my point is that all of this happening is affecting us all. So for me, my last message is that how do we build power? How do we build movement? And the only way to do that is through unity and solidarity. But that is very difficult to do it, right? Unity and solidarity, right? But one thing is that somebody told me one day is like, we're so good dreamers, you know, we dream and this and that and unity, we dream and liberation, we dream. Yeah, we should keep dreaming, but also we should keep waking up every time and resisting, right? So let's not forget that.
We resist with you.
Exactly, all together resist.
All together.
But one more thing, and this is the last one that I wanted to share, is that so that unity, we build it every day with a mindset that is embracing of the diversity of our movements. Let's not get distracted by these fights against all of us, between us, because these leftists there are not good, the other ones are not. I'm the line that goes, that you should understand that this is the way for liberation. No, this is not, this is the other one. We are distracted, fighting against each other. We have a big, great enemy out there. So we shouldn't be distracted, right? We should be focusing on that and trying to build this unity that is also diverse and thinking also, that sometimes we forget. So, are we going to stop this or not? Yeah, we should stop it. And that's the only way, through organizing and mobilizing, we're going to stop or try to stop these wars everywhere. We're going to stop ICE, because now I want to, the last thing, I'm saying the last thing never ends, right? Because it's just like that. As an immigrant, and you all know what's happening, how this war on immigrants is happening. They have been detaining kids, families, everyone in the border, and everywhere in the country, not just in the border. Right? And these private companies called detention centers everywhere, making a lot of money. So we need to stop that. We're gonna stop all of that. If we organize, and if we really mobilize in solidarity with the people And the only way to do that is if we organize in our neighborhoods, if we organize in our schools, if we organize in our places of faith, everywhere. I don't know if you saw this video, maybe you did, about how they did stop ICE, the ICE police, to detain somebody when the community and the neighborhood came out and they embraced each other and made a human chain to protect the people. That's the kind of thing that we need to do that for immigrants, for the Palestinians, for the people of color, for the black kids in our communities. So we are going to do that. So we are going to stop war acting and being very proactive every day. So, si se puede.
Sí se puede.
Si se puede.
Sí se puede.
Si se puede.
Sí se puede.
Yes, si se puede. And we're going to continue and keep fighting the system until